Hello, I'm Jeff Hall again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Christian Death's so-called classic Only Theater of Pain. Now, I do like the album, but as far as classics go or whatever, I guess with Ross Williams, all in all, it was a great album. But me personally, I prefer Ross Williams solo compared to what he did with Christian Death. I mean, a lot of this Christian death stuff tends to be either overly emotional or too drama club theater sounding or too progressive rock. Whereas when you had Valor, I mean, if you're gonna call your band Christian Death, I want God or Christ or the Bible or religion or something getting bashed. And when Valor had his version of Christian Death, religion was bashed brutally. Whereas Ross Williams, I mean, it tends to be very imaginative, odd, I don't know what he's talking about ramblings. Such as, I do like the song, but there's a song on Catastrophe Ballet. It's called Electro Descending, and I really love the song. But it's got this chorus talking about nipples licking the clouds. Nipples licking the clouds. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. But it is a good song. I mean, I like the vibe of it. I like the bass. I like the playing. I like the way he sings it. It's pretty good. But with Ross Williams, he didn't get mature, in my opinion, or really real and brutal until he went solo. And that's when he had his true masterpieces, like the epic collaboration he did with Jotan and Moan with Dream on Heartache, which I absolutely love, or the almost even better Whore's Mouth, which is a downright brutal, honest, emotion-fed, powerful piece of music. Everything on there. From Who's in Charge Here to Her Only Sin, every song on that album is just wow. It's a masterpiece. And I mean, if you want to discover Ross Williams, I honestly say you should check him out solo, because that's when he really became a personality with his spoken word, avant-garde, dark way. Whereas in Christian Death, I don't know, it's to me it seems like him just trying to discover, what he wanted to do, what he wanted to sound like. There's a lot of immaturity to it, but at the same time, it's good. I can't hate on it all the way. Some of my problems with this album mainly is the voice kind of sounding a little lispy and whiny. I can do without that, whereas later on in like Catastrophe Ballet, for instance, or Ashes, his voice got way deeper and way more mature. And that's just the side of Christian Death I prefer. And I really prefer Valor's version over Roz's. A lot of people like Roz's version. Hey, Roz was a genius. He was an excellent songwriter, an excellent singer, and it sucks he died. But the thing is, when it came to Christian Death, I'm sorry, but Valor really get, put the Christian death in Christian Death, if you will. But Roz Williams was just excellent solo, and that's just what I prefer. But I'll go over the songs on this album. Only Theater of Pain here. Um, Cavity First Communion, I really like. I really like how it talks about how the four walls drain them dry of imagination. I can relate to that because this album, when he did an interview about it, it was about his childhood. How he had a very oppressive religious household that just, told him what to do, how to dress, how to act. And I could just imagine him in his room where the four walls are draining him dry of imagination. It's just a boring life when you're oppressed. You can't be free, you can't be artistically free. And I really like that song. Figurative Theater is pretty good. It's bassy and very dark and goth with some gory lyrics. It's pretty cool. Burnt Offerings is pretty disturbing, but it's good. Mysterium in Aquatis, which has the lyric Only Theater of Pain, that one's pretty classic actually. I like it with the backwards singing. Another thing that's interesting on this CD is there's a lot of backwards lyrics and singing. That's one of its unique points. Um, Dream from Mother is another good one. Stairs Uncertain Journey, it's pretty experimental, almost prog rockish. It probably gives you a taste of what Catastrophe Ballet was going to sound like. Spiritual Cramp is very punk rockish, but it's pretty good. Romeo's Distress is the song I played before this one. It's considered the classic on here. I think it's about down with the Ku Klux Klan, like he's against the Ku Klux Klan, and he's saying drown in your white sheet glory or whatever. And I'm assuming his parents, who were crazy Christian people, especially considering way back then they were probably racist. I wouldn't be surprised, and that's probably what it's about. Like I said, this album actually is about his childhood. The lyrics are almost a conceptual of what it was like for him as a child. That's what he said in an interview, anyway. Um, Resurrection 666 Communion, or whatever it is, that one's got a lot of that backwards singing prayer. I believe is the Lord's Prayer in the Bible or in a psalm book done backwards. That's a really weird experiment. And then this particular version includes bonus tracks, which is the actual Deathwish EP. And moving on to that, I like Deathwish, but I really liked what he did with Evo O later on with a remix of it, the Deathful Wish remix, which was on I think it's called Death Mix, and he's got a lot of guest stars on it, and it's basically remixes of his old Christian Death songs. I like that version better because he does this deep voice on that album, and I prefer that to the lispy thing he does on this album, which gets on my nerves sometimes. Dogs is really dark, really, really goth, really eerie in a way. Desperate Hell is awesome. I mean, that's where even his lispy voice, contributes to the album. I mean, this song right here is probably the best thing on the Deathwish EP. I really love Desperate Hell. Spiritual Cramp is just a demo version, and Cavity is just a demo version. As is Romeo's Distress, which is on this Deathwish EP. That's a demo version as well. I don't like the demo versions as much as the originals, though Romeo's Distress, the demo version on that was actually pretty good. Um, I would give this album 4.5 stars out of 5. It's a classic album, don't get me wrong, but it's just, with my little bits of problems about it, it's just not perfect. And I'm Jeff Paul, and I hope you liked my review on Only Theater of Pain, a Christian